while it's not Tuesday, it's TV time. So it's Spiraken's
TV Tuesday.
Yes, Spiraken's podcast where we talk about new television shows. And while it's not Tuesday, we're releasing this a little late. We're still talking about new TV shows we watched. I'm your host, Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, bonjour, what's up?
Hey, it's Gretta.
And we're going to be talking about some really cool, fun things. If you want to check out any of our earlier episodes that do release on time, you can check them out at
www.spiraken.com.
And last thing, we usually give our initial impressions of the TV shows that we are talking about in question. And then after the music, we have
spoilers, where you get to hear the really good stuff.
So if you haven't watched the shows, remember to watch them, then listen after the music. If you've seen the shows, you can listen and then just wait after the music to hear the rest of our thoughts about the more important things. So let's actually get started, shall we? Because we've got 3 TV shows to talk about, and I'm very excited for each of them, except for one, which makes me very sad, because it hurts my heart. And what show are we talking about?
Dancing with the Stars.
Yes. It is the second to last episode of season 29, and we are down to 5, count them, 5 dancers left. But what will happen? 6 dancers, right?
Yes.
It is 6 dancers, I apologize. 6 dancers. And what will happen? Who will win? Who is good at things? Well, let's be honest right now. It was pretty invigorating because we got 6 dancers left. We have Sky and Alan. We have Justina and Sasha, Johnny and Britt, Nelly and Daniela, Nev and Jenna, and Caitlin and Artem. And people are still kind of salty about last week's loss, which was kind of sad.
With
I want it that way.
With AJ.
Yeah, that was very sad. And unfortunately, a lot of people were upset about it, especially because they said that the one host is being a little unfair to people, like being very, what is the word? Showing favoritism?
Showing favoritism.
Yes. And each of the ones were doing very well with this. And this is a very special episode because it's the semifinals. So there is going to be 2 eliminations this episode. And more importantly than that, this episode is the redemption round. We talked about this last week. And so each of them had 2 dances to do. First they had their new dance, and then they had the redemption dance first.
Redemption dances first.
And then they had their new dances. And the redemption dances for Sky was the cha-cha-cha. For Justina was the tango. For Johnny and Britt was the salsa. For Nelly and Daniela was the paso doble. For Nev was the foxtrot from episode 1. So that's kind of not fair. Like, that's his worst dance was the first episode.
But that's a redemption.
But he still did really good the first time. He had like the highest ranking, so it's like that's redemption.
But that was his worst dance.
True. And then last and not least, we have Caitlin and Artem with the paso doble. And then for the new dances, we had the Viennese waltz, a contemporary, jazz, jive, contemporary, and then another contemporary. So 3 contemporaries. So it seems that the contemporaries were the people who did not have any problems with any other dance. And those were the most, let's say, I think the best people got the contemporary. That was their something or other. That was their reward. And it was kind of an interesting event because for their redemption, first, they were actually given a coach. And who they got for each coach was interesting because you had
Bruno, one of the judges.
Yep. You had Bruno, Derek, and Carrie Ann all being there. Well, Carrie Ann wasn't there. She was there virtually, but it was weird seeing her coach because is she really a dancer?
Yeah. She was a coach. And she was, yes, they're all 3 of the judges are established.
So they know their stuff. And I gotta say, the ones that got kicked out, it was a shame. It was truly a shame. I will say, though, this episode was very nail-biting. And while, on the one hand, seeing certain people get kicked out was really good, seeing the bottom 2 was kind of tragic. But we've got a great show for our finale, and I'm a little excited for that. It's not the end of the game yet, but we're going to see where it goes. We'll talk more about our thoughts after the show. Next, we had The Mandalorian. And this one was kind of a big deal because, let's be honest, one, this was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard again. This is episode 3 of season 2, or chapter 11, the Heiress. And this would resolve the situation that happened in the last episode. Let's be honest. The last episode, a lot of people were really pissed off about because Baby Yoda was eating lots of
eggs.
Which
I love eggs. I eat eggs. I like fish eggs. I guess technically that's caviar.
But yes, this one...
And I eat them. But this one, these were gigantic and the mom was carrying them around, so it bothered me.
Yes, but this one, they land on the planet they're delivering their passenger to, and they have to find out more about the Mandalorians in order to drop off the child with someone who could raise them. Also, this episode brought back a bunch of fan service in it because it brought back some of the most famous Mandalorians in the show, actually not from the show, from the Clone Wars showed up with some interesting cameos. More importantly than that, in last season we had the introduction of Gus Fring. Well, his name isn't Gus Fring. I know him as Gus Fring. We're talking about Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon. And when we saw him last time, he was a little bit like a menacing moth. And now we're seeing more of his influence. It's been years. It's a year later, right?
Yes.
And we're seeing more of what he's been up to, which is bringing a lot of questions to mind, I gotta say. Now, compared to the last two episodes, I think this one is setting up a lot for what the season's going for. And it was really action-packed, especially the action sequence at the beginning and at the end of the show. Also, we get to see Mon Calamari and Quarians. And we see their lovely technology, which, how would you say the Mon Calamari technology was? They're fixing the abilities.
It was like organic duct tape.
Yeah, this is not going to be a B-Wing. It's not that good. It's kind of... However, this is definitely worth watching, and then once we get the cameos, it's worth watching again because it sets up so much. And to top it off, we get more Mandalorian lore. A lot more Mandalorian lore. Because we've only been able to see stuff going on with the Mandalorian, his clan, and now we see that there's multiple clans. So we'll talk more about that later. But what about you? What do you think about this episode?
I really liked it. There's a lot going on that I'm like, it doesn't tie back to everything as fast for me as it does for you. So I'm kind of like flying blind and interested, and I'm like, what's that going to do? What's that going to do?
Because you also don't know the character. You didn't watch Clone Wars.
Right.
Yes, true. So, yeah. So we're excited to see where this goes and what's going to happen. And also that ending, I don't know if they're going to make it back to where they're going, because that Razor Wing is becoming a cachado. It's like, it's kind of going, kind of, maybe.
It's going.
We'll see what happens with that. But Bryce Dallas Howard is proving to be as good of a director as her father. Hopefully she doesn't take after her hideous uncle. Right?
Right.
The other Howard. The one who's goofy looking.
No.
So now let's get to the last show. The show which so many people are happy about. And so many people are intrigued and horrified about. It is...
Masked Singer.
Yes, this is week 7. This is the return of the SmackDown, and the title is The Masked Singer, The Masked Frontier.
The Masked Frontier.
This is a lot of... this one has been a lot of cowboy references this season.
Yeah.
I mean, season 1 was The Mask's Return, 6 more masks, famous masked words, Cloudy with a Chance of Clues, Masked but Not Least, Funny Use in Masked, and then The Masked Frontier. Yep. Right?
Yep.
And
but I don't really get, like, why is it so themed? I also, sadly, didn't know that they had names to the episodes.
Yes. But this one was... this is group... I believe it is Group B? No. Is it Group B or... No, it's Group A. It is Group A's ending. Because they got to get rid of, well, technically 2 in order to finish this off. And I got to say, the people they've got left, kind of crazy. Wait, actually, no, because... Yeah, the breaking is weird. There's 5 characters this... No, 4. 4. It's 4. Technically 5 because, yeah. So this is Group A, which is the sun, the snow owls, and the popcorn. So it's 3. Technically 4, because they're 2 snow owls.
Yes.
That's what's confusing me, because it's like because Group B has 4 left, and Group C has 3 left, so it's really weird. So I guess that Group B is gonna have to get rid of 2 people, right?
Well, they've done double eliminations before.
Yeah, it's this weird. The breaking up of the groups is really strange. But so you had the sun, the snow owl, the popcorn, and let's be honest. Out of the 3 groups, you had the sun and popcorn. Those are who we're rooting for, and the snow owls. Well, meh. They're singing. The Snow Owls sang "The Prayer" by Andrea Bocelli and Celine Dion, and I'm gonna be honest. I like Andrea Bocelli. This was not a good cover of theirs. This was kind of terrible. The Sun had "Piece of My Heart" by Janis Joplin. That's a song I haven't heard in a long time.
In forever.
And then Popcorn Didn't Domino by Jessie J. And then we had our SmackDown, which is between 2 of them. Who won, who lost, we're not going to say. But they did 2 love songs, which is weird. They did "Because You Loved Me" and then "Everything I Do for You" by Bryan Adams. And they had the group performance too. We cannot forget that. They had a group performance of "Raise Your Glass" by Pink, which was awesome. Because Group A has become my favorite because of those 2. Because Sun and Popcorn. I think that they are probably going to make it to the finals. What do you think? I
am going to be very disappointed if Popcorn doesn't make it to the finals. And for sure, Sun. Yeah. They're both going to make it.
Yes. And to whoever's left, well...
Unless they give up halfway through and take off their helmet, which I guess is a thing that some people do.
Yeah. But we're going to see how that goes.
I would be, unless they took themselves out, I'd be surprised if they were not in there.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say. That's where we'll leave it at. It just, yeah. I will say the reveal was, no one got it? No, someone did get it. Someone did get it. So, but yeah, this one was worth watching because the opening act and some of the songs, but still, there hasn't been a wow moment for me. Like, oh my God, this is the greatest show ever this season.
No, but it's still highly entertaining.
It's entertaining guessing and seeing Ken Jeong get picked on by every single co-host possible, even though he's potentially right. But yeah, so this is definitely worth watching, and so only 2 more episodes of Dancing with the Stars. No, 1 more episode of Dancing with the Stars left. 3 more episodes of Masked Singer, and then we have 5 more episodes of Mandalorian. We need to find some new TV shows.
Yes.
And not just the shows that are on Netflix that we have to binge watch the whole thing. We need a weekly show. And not The Doctor, because I don't like The Doctor. I think that's not a good show. Even though I will say The Good Doctor, I give them points because they actually opened up this season with the first case of corona. I like that they did that they showed where the first person is like, oh, it's not the coronavirus, and then it shows present day, and it's changed so much. They get points on that. But anyway, so if you're watching a TV show and you want to recommend it to us, you can email me personally at Zan, that's Xan, at Spiraken.com, or tweet us at Spiraken. So remember, if you haven't watched these episodes, watch them, then stay tuned. And if you've watched them, stay tuned for after the credits. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. I'm Zan.
I'm Greta.
We're Gonzville. Catch you guys next time, and keep watching TV. See ya.
Bye.
time!
Woohoo! The good stuff.
Oh, God, we got so much to talk about. Now, first off, the fact that Popcorn made it to the bottom 2 this week. I mean, there's only technically three singers this week, so makes sense. But Sun is dominating this week. Sun is like I said, I think Sun's going to make it to the finale.
Yeah. But
she's
I like
really
Popcorn.
good. And as you can guess, the Snow Owls got poofed out. And to be honest, Clint Black and Lisa Hartman Black, let's be honest.
I don't want to say that I didn't know who they were.
I know who Clint Black is vaguely from working in a music store, but he's not on my top radar. And to be honest, I didn't like his singing. I didn't like either of their singing. The gimmick was kind of cool, but I would have preferred them to actually be able to move around instead of them being in the egg the entire time.
But
like the first episode of the egg, fine, but afterwards they should have been out of the egg like they hatched in the first
or
episode.
they could have done that as part of their performance. During a song, they could have come out of the egg, broken out of the shell, if you will.
They didn't, and that's kind of what I think is pretty bad. Popcorn is good, but you could tell she's a seasoned singer.
Yes.
And I want her to do really good, but the question is she going to have the power to go against some of these other singers? Because in the B group, we have your favorite, who I don't like. You know, I still say it's not a skirt, the seahorse. And then you have the serpent. And then in group C, I don't even know if we have a favorite in group C, because broccoli, maybe?
Sure.
Jellyfish?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like jellyfish.
Yeah, there's no, in the other two groups, there's no favorite. Mm-mm. Well, not true. There's no favorite in the last group. In the other group, the serpent. And Mr. Whatchamacallit, I don't even know how the hell he's still around. Because you like his diction. You like his diction.
He has good diction.
But yeah, so whoever you think the people are, message us at Spiraken on who you think each of the individuals are. I have had no clue who anybody is. No clue. I've given up trying to figure out this season because usually I have an idea of who it is. This season, nope. I'm wrong with everybody. And so, now let's go to the fun show. And we're talking about Mandalorian. Oh, good God. When I saw that it was Bo-Katan Kryze, I was like, holy shit. They brought the technical heir to the throne of Mandalore. And seeing her in real life, the actress they got for her is pretty awesome. They got, for Bo-Katan, Katie Sackhoff, who played Starbuck on Battlestar Galactica. And her playing Bo-Katan, it fit really well for that kind of imposing, bitchy nature. And top it off, crazy part, she took her mask off.
Yeah.
Which, if you remember from Clone Wars, if you've never seen it before, she was part of her sister was part of the Death Watch, which were the traditionalists. And she was part of she worked with the Jedi, and she ended up becoming one of the radicals. So if you want to put it into political terms, it'd be like libertarians versus conservatives, and she was more of a libertarian, and she was willing to take her mask off. And when Din Djarin saw them take the mask off, he's like, "Where'd you get that from?"
It's like, that's not allowed.
And she's like, "No, it's not. This has been my family for 4 generations." "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm Bo-Katan." And he got quiet. And he's like, I'm from Mandalore. And then he said, "You're one of the children of the Watch." So I'm guessing that the Death Watch, after Mandalore got destroyed, left, and they've been teaching them this kind of more religious zealot version of the Mandalorian code. However, seeing her tell him this is the way was kind of cool.
It was. That was very cool. It wasn't kind of cool. It was very cool.
Yes. And the whole thing is they are willing to help him in exchange for him helping them hijack a Imperial ship. And we find out, one, that Moff Gideon is still alive. When we saw he was still alive last season.
Yep.
He cut himself out with the Darksaber, and that's more important because the Darksaber belonged to Bo-Katan. And that is essentially the scepter, the crown for the Mandalorian. So she wants to get the scepter back, and she is looking for it. And we know Grand Moff Gideon has it. So she's trying to find it, and she wants him to help out. Now, another thing, the baby was watched by the Frog Lady and her husband, and the Frog Lady and her husband actually give birth to a little boy, a little child, and the baby doesn't eat it. The baby's playing with it.
Yeah, but I was worried the whole time that he was gonna pick it up and eat it because he ate the spider.
But he's getting better. He's learning, and he's speaking a little bit, kind of, in like gibberish. But he's speaking, and he's is he like Baby Groot?
Yeah, kind of.
He's gonna speak before the end of the season. I'm pretty sure.
He can convey a lot without speaking.
True. And there's a couple of other Mandalorians who showed up. There's 3 of them. They all looked really cool, and you saw the mask had the owl design, and that was one of the better designs for this season. I mean, he went to the planet. Some Quarians tried to screw him over. The Mandalorian showed up, saved the baby, saved him, took off their mask, made the deal with him to help him out, and then to top it off, before he helps them take over the ship, which it turns out the ship, when they get raided by the Mandalorians, the command crew, they tell him Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon's like, yeah, you cannot let the Mandalorians have it. And what does the commander do to the 2 pilots? Does he tell them to evacuate? No, he kills them both.
Yeah.
And then he goes to crash the ship into the town, which is in a water world. Whatever's going on with Moff Gideon is completely crazy. He seems like a good big bad for the series, right?
He is clearly the big bad guy.
I mean, he's a remnant of the old Imperium, and he's kind of really bad. And then, to top it off, something which really makes me geek out is that when we get the location for where he has to bring the child, they bring the child to Ahsoka Tano. Yes, the former Padawan to Anakin Skywalker, who's a huge popular fan for those of you who like Clone Wars. She is going to be in the series. Now, the rumor is it's going to be Rosario Dawson playing her, and I would love to see that. Because seeing her as the Triguran, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, it's been a while, but seeing her as the character makes me excited. If they get her in the makeup and she kicks ass, it will be awesome. But this is probably I think this is the best episode of the season so far.
I think so. I really like the girl. What's her name?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. Yes, I realize she's not the most dynamic, emotional actor in the world.
No, she's not. Not at all.
But I like her character.
No, seeing Bo-Katan with the Mandalorian armor.
And I also like that she's, like, thicker. She's not this, like, super skinny, perfect.
You're talking about Gina.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the girl in the Mandalorian armor.
Oh, no, not her. She's bitchy. That's
the one we were talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I like the other girl.
I know.
What's her name?
No, you're talking about Gina Carino as Cara Dune.
Yes, Cara Dune. So I like that she's like, I like her character. Not the greatest actress in the world, not the most dynamic, but isn't she like a real MMA fighter or something?
Yes, she is. And she is...
See, she's a real person. She needs a couple more acting lessons to get like a little bit more emotion put in there.
However...
Maybe a trick to move her facial muscles.
I don't know if she will even show up more in this season because she said some really vile things on Twitter and like...
But I like her... Not her as a person, but I like her character. I like that she's a little bit thicker. She's got meat on her bones. She's not the super perfect waif girl.
True. Yes, true. It's good.
And she's a force to be reckoned with. She like kills people and shoots stuff.
But so is Bo-Katan, and that's also Starbuck from but
she's bitchy and bad girl so far.
She isn't bad girl. She's the rightful heir to the throne of Mandalore. That's her job.
True.
And yeah, she was kind of bitchy to him because she forced him to help her, but he was bitchy to her too because he's like, take off that armor. It's like, that's her armor. By right, she has it, and by right, she is the heir to the throne. She could totally kick your ass if she wanted to.
Yes.
And she's not one of the religious zealots. So, yeah. So this season, awesome. Next episode is going to be great because, as we see, Carl Weather is directing the next episode. And I'm excited for that because that means Apollo Creed, a.k.a. What is his name in the show? It is going to be Grief Karga is going to be the director. So I hope it's awesome, and I hope he doesn't kill the character off. But we'll see. Worth watching. If you agree or disagree, let us know in the comments. And now, finally, Dancing with the Stars. First off, hooray! No more Johnny and Britt! Yay!
Our favorite people are still in it.
But not by much, because she ended up in the bottom rung. Not Nellie, who should have been kicked out. No. Nellie wasn't kicked out. Neither was Sky. No, it was Sky. Neither was Nev, and neither was Justina. But who gets kicked out? Well, Sky gets kicked out instead of Caitlyn.
Yeah.
I'm not happy. I mean, I'm happy that you have some great people in there, but I'm not happy with the fact that Nellie stayed. Nellie had the lowest score in the episode, and he stayed again.
I think he has votes. I think people are voting for Nellie.
And at the end of the episode, they said straight up, oh, next week Nellie's going to be singing. And that's like, oh, is that the deal? He stays on because he's going to be singing next episode?
No, I think he's got votes.
Sky should have had votes. And Justina should have had a shitload of votes.
And I'm sure everybody did. But I also am pretty sure that it's who's sitting there on their phone like, oh, vote for Nellie. Who's using, I don't know. I think
multiple
he's got
phones.
votes. Yeah, multiple phones. No. I think they're going online. I think they're calling in votes. I think
next episode is the last episode.
2020 is not the year for good
I
voting.
want Justina to win. I really want Justina to win next episode. She deserves to win. She's worked the hardest, and I think she's really accomplished. I think it's going to be between her and
She's
Neve.
the most fun to watch. She needs to
Neve
win.
has been progressively great every episode.
Neve and his...
And Jenna, yeah.
Neve and Jenna were talking about competing together.
Like, if they go to he could be in Blackwater, and that'd be awesome. I mean, and I hate to say it. And I don't want to doom his marriage, because he seems like a really great, loving father, but...
You can have a professional dance partner and not have an affair with them.
True.
There's been brothers and sisters that are professional dancers together as duos.
True.
With nothing incestuous that happens.
Yeah, that is true. I felt bad for Britt, because Britt worked really hard to get Johnny to be really good.
And I think they did a great job. He was clearly, he had an edge with all of his talents as a
skater,
as an ice skater, as an ice dancer. But he struggled to really overcome some of the things that were just born and bred in him since he could skate, where, you know, with his legs not moving and you can move your feet differently. Like you can tell he really struggled with that. The artistry, the control over your body, that he got down pat.
Apparently, according to when I was reading some of the newspapers, he did really, really bad. Like, he pissed off a lot of people, and more importantly, he was devastated. He was devastated when he got kicked out. He was cursing out all of the judges.
Oh, I'm sure he did. You could see his face. It was just like, if you see the clips of him when he doesn't win an Olympic medal or does poorly in his scores for ice skating, it's the same thing.
Yeah, he was truly angry. Like, Sky didn't deserve to get kicked out. She did a great job, but she
lost gracefully.
And in an interview the next day, she's like, I'm surprised I got this far. It was a competition, and the thing is, I'm happy I made it this far. And I learned so much. And she actually was like, I'm learning, and I'm going to keep going. Johnny's like, no, I deserve to win. I should have won. It's like, there's a difference.
But that speaks to somebody's character.
Yeah, because Sky is someone who I think should be followed for a lot of stuff. And if she comes back for like a special... Like we said, if you had to bring people back from... If you had to bring someone back for the season, it's going to be AJ and Sky. I say bring Sky back instead of AJ. AJ is consistent, but Sky has a heart. Right?
Yes.
Actually, no. Jenny Mai. Bring back Jenny Mai.
Oh.
Give her back.
Yeah, because she had to bow out because she needed surgery.
But supposedly she'll be back next episode. But not for dancing. Boo-hoo. Anyway. So this was a good episode. We'll see who's going to win. Vote. If you listen to this and you like it, vote for Justina. Please. We want Justina to win. Please, I beg of you. If you vote for Justina and you take a picture of it and you send it to me at Spiraken, and you do it, you know what? We will put you in the running to win a manga. What manga? Well, I have an
A surprise manga because we have a lot. It depends on who wins, I guess.
Yes, if you voted for Justina and you send me a message on Twitter that you voted for Justina and proof that you voted for Justina, you do that, I'll put a randomizer, pick one of you, and then you will win a free manga. How cool is that? So
super cool.
I know it's bribery. Wait, actually, can I even say that, or will that ruin the integrity of the show by bribing people?
No.
I technically can't do that. Technically,
We're not paying people for it.
Yeah, we're not paying people, but we're saying we want people to vote. So, vote. Prove you voted at all, but preferably for Justina.
Yes.
As long as Caitlin and Artem don't win, well, yeah. Anyway, I may edit this out. I'm probably not going to because I'm lazy, but yeah. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let us know what shows you want us to review next. I don't think there's anything really spectacular out for the next couple of weeks because in the middle of next year we have Zoe's playlist, extraordinary playlist. We have that. We have another season of Masked Singer is going to probably come out, right?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. We'll see what is going to happen. So, let us know what you think. If you have any recommendations, as usual, I am Zan.
I'm Greta.
We're Gonzville. Catch you guys next time and keep watching TV. Thank you very much and have a great week. And keep watching all those cool TV shows.